Hello everybody and welcome back to game number 2 here between VG Potential and the team Newbee. Now game number 1 was a lot closer than a lot of people would have expected. The Dota 2 Lounge odds gave around 25% I think to VG.P, while Newbee were the clear favourites. It didn't end up that way. VG.P running away with game 1 in the end, taking a pretty damn good team fight around the Roche pit, and ended up with Newbee just calling GG in the end. A few bad fights for Newbee, but we'll see if they can draft themselves something a little bit better this game. Maybe it's something a little more aggressive, or do they try and sit back and try and out-farm and outplay VG in the late game? Well, we'll try and find out, and welcome in my co-commentator Scant. How are you doing?
I find it interesting that VG Gaming Potential have silencer this time. I think that today every silencer we've seen is lost. We spend so much time talking about how the team with silencer has all this control over the game, and whenever global's up, the other team feels oppressed and limited in their options. But I think we saw one silencer in the IG HGT series and it lost, and we've seen one now in this series and it also lost. So let's see what VG Gaming Potential does with the hero.
I feel it comes down to when you have global silence up, you often need to actively go and look for fights. You need a hero that, you know, like Clockwork or Bat Rider that can jump, or Storm Spirit, that can jump in there and make that an initial damage burst onto someone, and then you global as sort of that blanket to just cover over the team fight, make sure there's no follow-up. That's why we've seen it a lot with Tiny Wisp. You know, you relocate in with Tiny Wisp, you global silence so that nothing's going to hurt them, nothing's going to bring them down. But sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you have to sit back and farm. You need some core items like a BKB on a certain hero, a Blink on another, and you get caught in this cycle where you think, okay, well, we've got global, but we need this item. And then you look at the opponent and you think, well, they've got that item, so we need this item now, and you never get into the aggressive play with the global. You just get stuck further and further back in a rut, and that opened it up a little bit for Newbee in the mid game.
I think I can agree. I think that Silencer is very hard to push against when he has global up, but that's not full use of Silencer. If the team with Silencer is just, you know, making it difficult for you to push, that's not why they picked the hero. They want to be able to proactively do things with the global silence instead of just threaten to react to your moves. So maybe we'll look out to see if VG Gaming Potential are able to do that, because certainly the 2 games we've seen so far today with the Silencer did involve the team with the Silencer being on the defensive, on the back foot in general.
Picking Storm into Silencer, not afraid of anything, Team Newbee.
Well, Ferrari's Storm did really well against the Silencer earlier, so maybe Mu saying, hey, I can do that too.
Well, it kind of fits into, you know, what we've talked about with picking Storm into Lion. If the Storm Spirit can get a decently early Orchid, even if he doesn't, there's still that chance that he jumps in, gets the Vortex onto Silencer before he can react, and by the time the global actually gets cast, it's too late. Silencer's dead, and then it's a 5 versus 4. Sure enough, no one can cast spells on Newbee, but I mean, the initiation's already happened.
I think the same thing applies to all heroes which are considered good against Storm. Same as if Storm goes in Quap first, Storm can kill Quap. Storm goes in Pack first, Storm can kill Pack. Even Anti-Mage, you know, in the early game, he's farming up. Sure, later on he's going to hurt the Storm, but Storm's good. So, like, it's why I think Chinese teams are so happy to pick Storm early in a draft, why IG pick it sort of first pick so often. Because the heroes that are meant to counter the Storm are generally heroes that the Storm can get ahead of and counter first. Although Axe, now that we see it for VG Gaming Potential, Axe is one of those heroes that probably can get his Blink online before the Storm can do anything about it. And then it's easier for the Axe to keep the Storm down than the Storm to keep the Axe down. We saw that earlier, ZSMJ on the Axe, making 1 or 2 kills on Ferrari Storm, but ended up not being nearly enough there. So guess we'll have to see, because Newbee have got the Lycan as well, and their strategy looks like it could put a lot of pressure on pretty early in the game. And again, we might see a Silencer whose team is on the back foot from the start of the game.
Oh man, well VG, they do have that Blink Initiator in the Axe to help out with the Silencer, so that's what they're going to be looking for. Get the Axe a relatively early Blink, but does this push Troll mid? Like, more likely than not, we'll see Troll safe lane and Axe off lane, and that VG are actually looking for their mid hero as their 5th and final pick. But I agree, Newbee's lineup seems a lot more well-rounded. Their 5th pick now, a support, could literally be anything. They're not going to be under pressure too much. The Witch Doctor and Silencer aren't going to be roaming into the jungle to try and kill whoever you pick up now, you could go with well, I was going to say Enigma, and I always do this. When I think greedy jungler, my brain just says, you could just go for Enigma. Against Global Silence and Cask and things like that, maybe not, but it's still a possibility.
I'm not too sure what they actually want right now. There's a lot of possible heroes that could go well. I was actually going to say they might have liked to get the Rubik again, but VG.P actually banning out the Rubik, so they won't be able to get that one.
There's still a Chen.
Yeah, Chen is... The risk of Chen is that, again, Casks are good against his creeps, and Axe is also pretty good against Chen. You've already got Axe who's good against Storm, Axe who's good against Lycan. I mean, if you bait them too much into the Axe being a strong pick, they will move the Axe to the safe lane. I think there's only so much you can give to a team before they put the Axe in their safe lane. Okay, it's Alina. Did you see that? Were you casting the? I don't know who was casting a game. I watched a game recently where Newbee ran the support Lina. I think it was Sansheng playing it, and he got a ridiculously fast Shadow Blade, and just it felt like he was a core the whole game. He just had this fast Shadow Blade, was a support Lina going around solo killing everyone.
No, I didn't see that. I've seen IG run it a bunch of times. You throw Rubik and Lina into the mix. You got that dedicated stun just smoked up multiple times, running across the lanes, but didn't see the Shadowblade Lina from Newbee. VG.P now with their 5th. I'm looking at a mid hero here, but I'm not entirely sure what they need. There's no sniper, no SF, no quap. What do you put up against the Storm Spirit? There's nothing really left that can clear creep waves, can do harass back to him.
It's conceivable at least that they could put the troll mid and pick a safe laner. But I think you're right. I think they do want a mid hero here. And we've seen Yang play SF and Sniper. That's it. So I have absolutely no idea. I mean, maybe he plays something like Razor.
Yeah. Razor or Viper are the ones that come to mind. It leaves you a little bit open to the late game just crushing you from Newbee. But if you can get the early game value in there with the Global Silence and Viper running around with an early mech, Axe Blink, you can 5-man into towers decently well. I think Troll would work better than Razor here. Sorry, I think Razor would work better than Viper here. I don't know why I said that.
You think they should do Troll and Troll?
Troll and Troll, yeah. I think they should pick Troll as their 5th pick. Now, I think Razor would work better than Viper here. Like, Viper in the lane would crush out Storm very early on. But the Razor can push back with Plasma Field. And they're going to go with Secret Invoker.
So it's going to be Yang Axe, right? And they're switching around the laning probably then? Or do they just run Axe mid against Storm? How does that lane go? I think they're switching around the laning. I think Secret probably goes mid and Yang goes off lane for this game.
I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to throw any ideas out there because I know that if I say Yang is going to head mid with the Axe, I'm going to be wrong. I'd like to see it. It's a matchup that I've played before, and I've seen it. I've not seen it in competitive time. Oh my god, my words! I've not seen it on competitive games, but Axe does decently there. Axe doesn't do that badly. Because of the low range of Storm Spirit, you get into the creep wave, you're pushing the creep wave faster than he can control the equilibrium himself. He can't, let's just do a little diagram. I can't draw on the map, damn it. Let's say the creeps meet in the river. Axe walks into the creep wave and starts spinning like mad. Storm, sure enough, level 1, he throws down a remnant, tries to get a bit of right-click damage in there, hits level 2, gets the overload damage onto the Axe, and Axe starts feeling the pain. But Storm Spirit can't do the thing he loves doing best. Walking into the creep wave and placing a remnant. That is like one of Storm Spirit's biggest strengths, is going in there and getting last hits with remnants. You can get 3 last hits at the same time, which makes it almost impossible for enemy mid-heroes to try and deny up against you. But looking at the way things are going, it's going to be Invoker mid.
Yeah, and I think that, like I said, I mean, it keeps not coming up now, but there was a point at which Yang played Wisp. So clearly this guy, even though he's their mid player, is willing to switch around if the heroes require it. And I guess he's not an Invoker player. I assume that's what's happening here, that they wanted the Invoker pick and Lin or Secret is their best Invoker player, so time to switch up the roles. I believe that Lin used to play Invoker quite a lot back when he was in LGD actually. I think it was one of the heroes he played there. Not too sure, I could actually probably check that while we paused.
Go! Do the checking! Checking of things! Invoker incoming. Someone called it. Kappa Kappa 54. I don't know if he called it before the Invoker was picked or after. I wasn't checking Twitch chat then, but if you knew Invoker was coming, that's good damn job. Yang on the spot lane with James on the silencer. Axe answered dual lane. We're seeing a fair few Axe dual lanes nowadays. You throw something like a Phoenix, like a Zeus, maybe this silencer will help out. Just that early laning phase potential where you harass out the support so Axe doesn't feel the full brunt of force from the stuns and disables, magical nuke damage coming out of Newbee.
Yeah, Invoker was Lin's second most played hero when he was at LGD after Viper. So it's definitely something he's got practice on.
Oh boy, James and Yang, they didn't know! Newbee were hiding around the corner, the Light Striker Ray going to go down, the cask is really annoying here from dogfights. But Yang is going to fall as first blood, and that's not where you want to be as an Axe. The play from Newbee, running as 5, placing this ward, doing a little dance, doing a little jig, hiding in the trees, and then eventually spotting out the Sansa and Axe making their way down.
It looks a bit like VG.P are setting up an aggressive tri-lane, and that's the worst thing that could possibly happen is aggressive tri-lane and the core in the tri-lane dies first blood. But yeah, they're gonna stick to this aggressive tri-lane, and I worry a bit for them because sure, the Axe matches up really well against the Lycan, but with that advantage, with that early advantage, slight level advantage from the Radiant side, this aggressive tri-lane could end up really backfiring.
Now, you say there's a slight advantage. We're looking at 25 XP per hero. It's not that big.
It's not that big.
Experience-wise. Right. That's almost not. It's an eighth of the way to the next level. Yes.
It's not that big. It's more just like I don't know how much regen did they use there, and also just the fact that the aggressive tri-lane wants to be every bit as ahead as they can be because they want to be able to go for kills.
Well, there was no regen used. It was just Axe being caught and dying instantly. So I think they'll be in the same position as they would have been originally in this aggressive tri-lane. Maybe Sunshine and Banana hit level 2, that little bit earlier. But looking at the experience now, in fact, the Radiant supports the ones behind. Sunshine is going to be hit level 2 first. But Lion will not be hitting that marker at the same time, whereas James and Dogfights are identical with their experience.
Yeah, to me it's just more how the dynamic feels. If we saw the Lina harassing back the Witch Doctor as the lane started, it sort of feels like Newbee are trying to take the lead in this lane, and that's not where the aggressive tri-lane wants to be, but now Banana really low, with low mana, so VG.P are going to actually try and assert themselves, and maybe you're right, maybe this will just become a strong lane for them, like it was meant to be in the first place.
Now we've seen things like Battle Hunger and Fiery Spirits. Throwing these dots out there is incredibly annoying to deal with. Curse of the Silent though. You want to be holding on to spells here as Newbee. You want Earth Spike and Hex defensively, or if by some miracle you get an aggressive option onto the Witch Doctor, you want to be able to throw, all of your support spells, just dump them onto one hero to take them out instantly. But if you're getting your mana drained like this, you're in a position where, okay, either I cast a spell now, or I lose half of my mana pool and I can't cast a spell later. So in fact, Banana with Invis Rune heads towards mid to look for Secret.
He missed the courier though, they're gonna have to try go for the kill, I guess.
He's only got Hex. Level 1 Lion with a Hex, now Moo turned around on Cold Snap and EMP. Oh man, this dive was not worth it. Moo gonna go down with a Tornado.
I'm so confused. I just don't feel like that was ever a kill. I don't think there was ever a kill in there. I think Lion made a rotation, saw the courier, nearly got it, missed it, and then thought, well, I gotta do something now.
Rabbit. Oh, Rabbit's dead. Rabbit is actually just gonna die here. Salves? Okay, you can salve through Battle Hunger. Of course you can. Level 1 and 2 Battle Hunger, I believe. Kind of same as level 1 and 2 Rot. You can salve through because the damage instances aren't above that 20 HP per second threshold.
I think for Battle Hunger it'll only be level 1.
Oh, is that level 1?
Yeah.
And it is 20 damage threshold?
Yeah, it's 20, I believe. Okay, so that's another way that aggressive tri-lane can backfire, is when your safe lane 1v1 versus the off laner dies. you know, if the Troll's gonna die 1v on his bats, then you might want to consider sending some support to him. I don't know if you saw the kill.
No, I didn't. I was too busy trying to do maths on this bot lane, and I missed out on June taking down Triple S at top. So last hit wise, 18 for 3, 18 for 2, and 15 for 2. The Radiant are the leaders. And with a couple...
Look at the Troll CS. I mean, forget about that kill. The bat's dominating this lane.
You know, something you see every day. Troll Warlord getting crushed, and this is June, the 8K MMR god of Chinese Dota. Really showing how strong he is.
Yeah, poor Triple S, probably only 6k MMR.
Only. Us 5k scrubs, we can, you know, live with what we've got. Chaos gonna bounce there. Sanshen called in the Berserker's call. And with one more right click, they'll bring him down.
Oh, and that'll be a good move to again justify the aggressive try lane. Each time they make a kill, they'll feel better about what they're doing here. But for every sort of 2 or 3 minutes they don't make a kill, or when Troll dies, or yeah, then they're gonna be feeling a little bit unsure about it, I think. It's not something we see a lot in the current meta game. We actually see mostly dual lanes from both teams. And these aggressive try lanes, I suppose it's precisely based on the fact that they knew it would be Axe against Lycanthrope.
This curse is actually killing Rabbit. Like, one more curse and last word. Oh, I guess he's got Howl. But he gets taken down to like half HP from one curse.
Yep, and there's that level 1 Batanga, there's the last word, there's... Yeah, I'm considering going in and Sansheng blocking their routes for running in, even if they tried to, I think. Oh, there's another curse.
Oh, he has to pop Howl. Banana has nothing left. He's got no mana, he's got half HP, he can't stun, can't hex, can't do anything.
How does he curse all 3? Could he even see all 3 of them there?
I'm pretty sure he's just aiming at the Lycan and... Or aiming at the Lina, get that lucky coincidence that just so happened to be there.
So, at this point I need to take back everything I've said about this aggressive try lane, because it's actually getting a lot. I mean, look at Rabbit, he's been forced to move to the jungle. He's gonna either have to ferry himself some regen or just go to base soon. It's not where Newbee wants to be in this safe lane. However, if they manage to just run the Lycan in the jungle from now on, and Lina and Lion can avoid dying in this lane, Newbee will get quite a big XP lead. But Secret actually heading to the bot lane. There's gonna be 4 and 2 here, and they might be able to dive the Lion and the Lina.
Well, let's tornado EMP. The EMP not gonna do too much because Banana's got no mana left after being drained out by the silencer here. Now Secret with his phase boots and null heading into that Orchid next, more likely than not. Well, Urn first. I want to say he goes for the Urn build.
I'm not too sure.
Because
I don't want to make a call.
That you're in the same boat as me. That alleviates your supports. It means that the Witch Doctor and Sansa don't have to go for that Urn. They can go for, you know, Tranquils, Arcanes, build up the Magic Stick, and maybe try and get stats elsewhere. It's also really good for Invoker. Now you can proc the Cold Snap with the Urn. Gives you the HP mana regen you need, the little bit of strength and stats you need as well.
Yeah, so VG Gang potential have done well to shut down the Lycan a bit, but Lycan a hero that can recover reasonably fast. Meanwhile, on the side of Newbee, the Storm and the Bat are getting a lot of farm, especially the Bat's really impressive in that 1v1 lane that he's really completely dominated the Troll.
Yeah, and Triple S has managed to run himself into the jungle to get some more gold. Banana heads towards mid. What are we looking for here? Secret is just going to run away from you. You can't really catch him.
The Storm and the Bat are going to be the actual tempo controllers, so I feel like their farm is what's important here. While Mew heads to top, is he going to try kill Troll, or is he just going to go farm?
Looks like he's just farming. Triple S is so scared right now of Batrider possibly having Blink, that the Storm, you know, sitting in that position, the mentality that you've got to have as this Troll is, okay, well, he's baiting me. I can't go near the creep wave, I'm going to sit by my tower. I don't want to get lassoed and killed again.
And it's actually, I think if it's a bit further off the tower, it's quite conceivable the Storm can solo kill him if he has full mana. If the Howl's up from the Lycanthrope. Troll's not very tanky yet. I mean, he's like a bit tanky. But yeah, I guess while he's close to his tower, or rather just be an implicit threat from the Storm.
But net worth wise, 4.2k up on the Bat Rider. 400 away from his Blink Dagger right now as Moo is farming up the Dire jungle, limiting how much Triple S can actually get here. And the Troll Warlord, without that Morbid Mouse just yet, his farming speed isn't that great. Well,
this Axe is about to buy either a Blink Dagger or a Vanguard.
Come on, it's got to be Blink. Please let it be Blink.
I think it's going to be Blink. And then we have an interesting situation where Bat's gonna have a fast Blink, so is Axe. And we're gonna have to ask the question of which of these two sort of playmakers are gonna make better players and more relevant ones. Yeah, there's the Blink. Invoker's here too. This is just a tower for free, I guess. No defense.
What targets do Newbee give them? Because if you look at their heroes right now, you're gonna have Banana standing around next to one of the cores, so the Earth Spike and Hex are gonna be there onto the Axe. Storm Spirit can jump away. Maybe they catch someone like Sunshine, get the Lina or the Lycan.
Well, there's actually a defense here. Wow, they saw Invoker TP out, so they thought time to go in and...
Yeah, jump in onto that Witch Doctor. Yang with the Blink on cooldown now. Witch Doctor going to be the one to fall most likely here. Berserker's Call pretty damn good as Dogfights launches the Maledict down onto June. No time, mana, or space to get lasso onto anyone.
Secret's back, he ran there.
He is indeed. Big Tornado catching 2. EMP gonna land on the Lycan and the Lion as the dunk lands from the Axe. In comes June, can't lasso, can't do anything. Sunshine Laguna Blade down. Lycan dropping, gonna die from the last word as Moo battling it up and finishes off the Axe, but that is going to be a 5-man team wipe here as Newbee get pretty much manhandled and demolished by Secret's Invoker.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the reason Newbee defended is they saw the Invoker TP out. But this is a Quas-Wex Invoker with Phase Boot, so he was able to get there pretty fast. And I think Newbee, if they're that sensitive to the Invoker's power at this point, need to realize that, you know, if we're fighting because he's not there, we can't fight for that long. Eventually he's going to be there.
So Secret racking up some earn charges, 4-0 and 2. And his Orchid well on the way. This is kind of one of the reasons I like the earn build. Is you can, you know, focus multiple targets. You throw out the Tornado EMP, Cold Snap 1, throw the Urn on him, and while he's being triggered by the Urn so hard that he, you know, runs over to Tumbler, the Invoker then, you know, starts right-clicking someone else.
Yeah, I mean, just exerting such control on the fight, and okay, this is Alina in trouble.
Yeah, Sunshank's dead. There's actually no way he survives here. EMP, does it steal the kill? No, yes. Doesn't look like it will. Back towards the tier 1 tower.
The bats as he TPs in.
Moo, Cold Snap, Dunk, dead! Oh! Oh, that's really sad to see. It's June now. Maledict up, gonna get hit down by James on the Sansa, who didn't get bounced back by the Flame Break somehow. And now it's dogfights, 1 versus 1.
But Yang just TP'd it, blinked into the trees, so won't be able to chase. But this is what we talked about, using Global Silence proactively instead of reactively, and making the kill on the Lina, using the Global as the Storm and Bat TP in, and getting the Storm kills results, and maybe the Bat not too.
Secret going in for more. Earn charge is going to kill June. Oh boy.
And it almost felt like June, like Banana and June had this plan that he was going to bait them there, and just not realizing that Invoker could just take his health down so quickly, because I feel like the Bat let the Invoker catch him a bit more at the end there. Triple S come down to the rush pits with Secrets, and this is gonna be a nice and easy rush. And even though Troll's start wasn't so good, he's up there at the top now in terms of last hits, and pretty close to the top in terms of net worth. I mean, neck and neck with the next 3 off the Invoker and Axe.
Well, Newbee supports, they'd like some items. They'd like Blink on Lion, Yules on Lina, but I don't think those are coming anytime soon. Rabbit now with the Vlads, heading into this tier 1 tower, looking for a little bit of push, but Yang TPs, blinks in, says hello Rabbit, and goodbye dear sir. Yang will fall to Moo as he zips back in. Secret now, this is a big kill if they can get it, but Moo's out of mana. Moo is out of health. He pops the Soul Ring, but he's already dead. Dogfights dragged down into the river as June tries to bring him a little bit closer to the rest of his team. But I don't know, can you finish him off? Can you kill a lonely Witch Doctor? Looks like you just about can.
I worry for Newbee. Their play just seems so unpolished. It seems so... I don't want to say it, but a lot of the plays Newbee are making feel a lot more like pub plays to me. Like it's not a team decision. It's not a it's exactly like this. I mean, how does Lion not anticipate that he can die in this situation? Okay, is he actually gonna live and contradict what I'm saying? Okay,
Yes.
fine, but super close to dying, right? Like just now, right after they rushed, when they caught the lycanthrope, like how do you not expect that to happen? That's what I'm describing as sort of pub plays where people are just a little bit too reckless, a little bit too unaware of their positioning when they're in a dangerous place. And it's a bit of the impression that I get watching Newbee at the moment, that VG.P are like collected and organized and know what they're doing, and Newbee are just kind of like, doing what they feel like, seeing what happens.
Well, this has been something I'm sure you know as well, that it's been indicated by a lot of Chinese fans. There is a lot of talk out there that Newbee aren't giving their full attention to Dota 2. But I don't know. They've got the individual skill, they've definitely got the drafting ability. Like you said, it comes down to these little lapses in concentration or lack of confidence in what they're doing or what the in-game calls are. I don't know if they need to bring another in-game leader in. They need to try and change something up at the very least.
Yeah, it's just not working for them right now. And I wonder, the global silence is up again. Axis ready to go. Yeah, this is a smoke play from VG Gaming Potential, and I was just gonna say, they don't seem like they have any intention to slow things down.
Yeah.
The troll might be in trouble in this bot lane, but if he dies, they're gonna get 2 return kills.
Laguna Blade, yeah, will bring Triple S low, but it's not killing him. They don't have enough damage to finish him off. One more swipe. Okay, Rabbit finally does it. But Secret coming in now. Blink call. Not going to land. Tornado missing completely as well. Rabbit TP's out, and there's nothing left to stop him. VG.P getting a little bit unlucky that they don't get any kills out of that whatsoever. But this right here is what I was talking about in the draft. Game number 1, Newbee never got the opportunity to do this. Play aggressively with the global silence. They were always the ones on the back foot thinking, okay, global silence is going to be used defensively so we can turn fights around. Here, VG.P are the ones that are looking to go, okay, we'll jump on you and global silence so you can't turn the fights around.
Or cut up in the top lane. Storm Spirit's going to be in a lot of trouble here.
And they get the lasso down to Secret. Moo still silenced up now with the global on him. Yang, no mana. No mana for the Culling Blade. Moo blinks himself away, jumps, balls, whatever you want to call it. And TP's out to safety. Now, we were just praising VG.P on their cohesion and how well and how rounded they were doing in team fights. The last two seemed a little bit
Jun did well to protect the Storm there, but I want to say Yang made a mistake using his Battle Hunger. Because he used his mana up and he couldn't ulti. I think even if he can't ulti in chopping range, if he just ultis the Storm there, the Storm might die to the Orchid, because the Orchid was still on him at that point. I don't think the level 1 Battle Hunger deals as much as... What does the level 1 ulti do? 150? Does level 1 Battle Hunger deal that?
No.
Pretty close, I guess, but there's...
Over time, and it gives you the chance to keep you away now. James caught a mid lane, Finger of Death as well as Moo. Zipping, zapping, killing. And the Wolves, you know, giving a little bit of support there. Just howling away dust.
It's that caster's curse. As soon as we start talking about problems in the Newbee side, as soon as we start praising VG Gaming Potential, everything starts going Newbee's way. Yeah.
That's the way of things. You just got to get used to it. You know, you call an item, you call out an item saying, oh, he's like 99% sure, and you back it up with stats. It's like, yeah, this is the item that he will most likely be going for. I've seen his item progression 20 times over the past week, and he always goes, you know, like Ring of Aquila, Mask of Madness into Madness style. And then he goes and buys, you know, Helm of the Dominator, Sanjin Yasha, and Skadi. You're like, okay, well, this is completely different to what he usually does, but a lot of things come down to the heat of the game, what's said in TeamSpeak, the tempo of how things are going, what hero... You know, there are so many parameters in Dota 2, inside but also outside of the game, that it's sometimes easy to forget that there are 5 people sitting there talking to each other and playing this game. It's not just 5 heroes. There are 5 human beings with emotions, feelings, all chatting to each other, and hopefully expressing what's going on inside each other's minds.
Team with emotions, definitely Newbee. We know all about how their TI went. Quite an emotional roller coaster. But right now in this game, things are taking a positive turn for them. VG.P going in on the mid lane, Banana probably gonna fall. Yeah.
Pretty simple kill there. Clear cut, blink, call, chop.
But that's not, I mean, if you and I agree that they want to do proactive things with Global instead of reactive things, the proactive thing they want to do with Global is not kill a support.
Yes.
You know, kill one support, that doesn't seem like enough.
Or if they do kill a support, you know, you want the creep wave to be pushing into a tower, you want to take the tower afterwards. You need advanced objectives afterwards.
Well, how's the net worth looking? Gold graph and XP, it's all looking reasonably close now. Just as we've been discussing, it looked like it was snowballing out of control for the Dire side, and that's what the graphs show. But things have stabilized quite a lot for Newbee, and that's a position they're quite happy to be in at this point. Because we spoke about a lot during the draft that it was going to be difficult it might be difficult for VG.P to handle them. And then VG.P started snowballing out of control, but now that they've stopped snowballing out of control, do we go back to that position where they end up being the reactive team and have to use their silence ulti reactively? It's not where they want to be.
Exactly, now June is the one on the hunt. The Batrider now has the opportunity, while they're pushing towers with the Lycan, to look for these pickoffs.
And VG.P trying to get a trade at the tier 1, but getting there so slowly that they might lose 2 towers for the price of 1 at this rate.
And then you've got Moo, who nearly has his Bloodstone completed. Sure, 20 minutes in, it's a little bit late down at bot lane. Secret, Orchid on the Sunshang and blink forward from Yang. Banana, one more right click will seal the deal there, as June is silenced up and the curse lands on a couple. Axe in a little bit of trouble here as Rabbit chases him down. Death Ward. Oh, do they have enough damage to actually? No. No. He's not going to drop from Maledict.
So I think Batrider doesn't really want to go into Axe. If he gets anyone else, that person dies. I think the reaction there from June is to try and actually save his teammates, to pull the Axe away from him. But unsuccessful in that regard, and yeah, the Axe is a little bit too tanky, even with the Lina ulti, throwing a bunch of Lycan hits at him too. Just not the hero they want to focus. It doesn't make sense, because Axe almost wants you to do that. If he blinks in and calls, and then you drag him to your teammates and you all focus him down, it's almost like you're extending his call for them.
Well, where was Moo on the Storm? You know, he was mid lane farming up creeps, trying to get his Bloodstone. I don't know if the call was that he was going to continue farming or if he wasn't going to help his teammates. A little bit awkward here from Secret, not going to find the kill there onto Moo, just Ghost Walk away and bail on that. Oh. Okay, Blink was already used. They do get a dust down onto the Invoker, but there's no follow through.
Yeah, missing that EMP. I think if the EMP hits, he chases down, maybe gets the kill, but he probably ends up dying too.
Oh, Banana walks into the wrong neck of the woods. Secret is lassoed up, but Dogfights is ready with the cask. Slam dunk from Yang onto that little old lion. Berserker's call again. No, there's no mana on Moo. He's going to get dropped here. He can't escape.
And there's a very good example of the kind of value they want to get out of Global Silence. Just making it so difficult for Newbee to get a positive trade in a fight. Secret returns to the bot lane to try and stall for that tier 2. I'm not sure he's going to be able to save it though.
For those of you just joining us, this is game number 2 between Newbee and VG.P. Game number 1 went the way of VG Gaming Potential. And Newbee are scrambling to try and bring it back as Triple S up on top lane trying to take the tier 1. Might drop here to the Lion, but there's no follow through. June was too far away, limited mana on him. So it looks like the Lion was just trying to save his tier 1 for a little longer. Put that fear into the troll. Necro 3, not too far away now for the Lycan, in fact. Only about 700 gold.
And Dogfights, instead of going for the new Midas Witch Doctor build, opting for Fast Gem. So I think again that's a sign that VG Gaming Potential, they don't want to be scouted out by wolves, they don't want to be scouted out by wards. They want to be able to be proactive in this game, and part of that is making sure that the enemy team can't see them. Gem's been moved over to Secret, and they'll be trying to clear off the map of vision, and then keep going, especially whenever they have their global silence up, but maybe even without it. And James definitely getting farm on the support this game.
What does he buy though? 1900 gold, 23 minutes in. Do you go back for the late Midas? Do you just buy up your Oblivion staff at the side shop?
Yeah, those are the two options, I think.
Secret, caught out with the lasso. Sanchen gonna try and nail him, but doesn't land the light strike array. Dust is popped, and Secret now has to cast something. He's gonna drop with a gem. Yang jumps in, but can't find a call. The wicked sick streak of Secret goes the way of Storm Spread, and now they turn back around. Triple S caught up Shit Creek without a paddle. Needs to run, needs to get the hell out, as dogfights will be the martyr. Look at me, I'm an easy target. Take me. Leave the troll, leave the axe alone.
You know what? You know what did more work than Global Silence there? Batrider's Firefly. The axe just couldn't blink in. There was a Firefly between him and everyone he wanted to blink on, and I saw him run forward and cast his call and then cancel it because he realized his blink had been disabled. He just couldn't get there, and it's such a big problem. VG Game Potential are not going to win a fight where their axe can't get in to call something. So, really good Firefly there, I think, from June to zone him out. And again, he's moving for a similar Firefly as they secure the Aegis.
Well, right now, VG.P still looking pretty good with 2,500 in terms of net worth lead over Newbee. But Newbee are getting stronger and stronger. This Lycan is starting to push into lanes. They've taken down a bunch of outer towers. And with Necro 3, he hasn't been touched in a while.
Yeah, Banana's close to blink on Lion. In fact, he's got it now. And Sansheng's Lena's pretty close to Yule's as well, which is going to allow for both of those support. Basically, then 4 heroes on Newbee can initiate, which I think is quite significant. It means that they will be able to abuse the Global Silence being down when it is down. And we were saying, is James going to buy a Midas or a Refresher? He's actually buying a 4-star, so he can have it right now. He wants that immediate value.
I'm just looking at Newbee's heroes now. BKB is being built up by June. You've got the BKB for the Lycan, and then Yule Scepter for the Storm Spirit to try and dodge out this Global Silence. So they're definitely building up the tools and utility to fight through it. I'm just wondering though, with the double BKBs there, Secret on this Invoker really has to focus on the Lion or Lena. There are no real other obvious targets he can go for.
Yeah, and more I'm getting to this point where as Newbee creep back into this game and start to feel like they might even be going ahead. Is this the true curse of the Silencer? That he always loses? That's what it feels like today. I mean, we're by no means at that point yet. Just like VG Gang Potential looked far ahead to me, and they're struggling now. They've had a few hiccups in their plan. They need the next fight to go well for them, but there's an Aegis in the Storm, so Newbee just content to force things while they have that Aegis up, I guess. At very least, VG Gang Potential are going to want Axe to be involved in the next fight. Axe is not a hero that wants to stand on the sideline and watch.
How do you fight into this though? If you jump on Rabbit, you're going to get stunned up by Banana or Sansheng. If you jump on one of the 2 supports at the back, you're going to get lassoed up by June. They decide to go in onto Rabbit and June at the same time. The Blink Call catches both of them. Troll trying to do as much damage as he can. Rabbit does fall, now Moo. Sun stop and locked in place. This is how you win the fight. That's how you take him down. Secret, no Orchid. Moo gonna zip himself the hell out of here. In fact, goes onto the Troll Warlord who's lassoed up. Now Moo on the rampage looking for more. James went for the kill on Sansheng and will get it most likely with the last word, but loses his life in exchange. Now that went from being really great for VG.P to all of a sudden being a shitstorm where they went way too deep.
Only because of the Aegis, because Storm has an Aegis, and that's why I think it's smart for Newbee to force that fight there, to say we're not going to stop pushing until he fights us, because with the Axe getting the initiation off at the same time as the Global Silence, it does look like VG.P wins that fight at this point in the game. But if your Storm can die and respawn and have full mana and just like zip around and finish everyone off, well, that's going to obviously affect things. I don't know, did you comment on the fact that Secret bought a late Midas? I didn't actually notice
I saw it, and I like hovered my cursor over it and indicated it, but I didn't say anything about it. Is that a suggestion that they're concerned they won't be able to snowball the game out of control and they need to like scale a bit more? No, it's something, well, maybe it is, but it's an item that we're seeing more commonly now, and I think you brought this up last week or something like that. You know, when you're seeing these heroes that like to farm for the first 10 or 15 minutes and get a blink dagger or get, you know, the first mobility item like Slark, Slardar, that after that they struggle farming. So you need that Midas to keep your experience and gold income going, just in case things fall a little bit flat here. It's sometimes, you know, a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you start thinking, okay, if I'd spent that 2,000 gold on something like, you know, a 4-staff or halfway to my BKB, then maybe things wouldn't have fallen flat. So it's always one of these risks that sometimes you have to take, because there's a Lycan in the game. You know that the game is going to be a little more difficult once it hits 25-30 minutes in. You get to Necro 3 and starts pushing into your base. That the Midas is a necessity almost. Oh, June? They don't see dogfights, but Bernardo decides to jump straight back in onto him. The axe gets lassoed back as Moo now shredded by the Troll Warlord. The Global making short work of him. And Troll now, double kill spree. Sansheng is being chased down as the rest of VG.P are on the hunt. Chasing and chasing. Rabbit needs to make a run. Get back to the
I'm a little
pack.
bit surprised because Moo just bought himself up a Yules. And he died there because he was global, then he couldn't zip away before he got disabled. But I watched him, and he had about a good 1 to 2 second gap where he could use himself up to the global, and he just didn't use it.
I have no explanation. No explanation whatsoever.
Like wanting to wait to the last second to use it to get optimal value out of it, but then suddenly he's disabled and dead.
Well, that gives that lead straight back to VG.P. Newbee had managed to drag it back to 0 and even get over the hump, giving themselves about a 2,000 net worth lead. But VG.P say, yeah, thank you very much for saving up all that gold and giving it straight back over to us.
At this point, I don't know. I mean, who's actually ahead in this game right now?
Nobody. I don't think anyone is quantifiably ahead. At this point, it's one of those games where metrics don't really scream at you and tell you, you know, what's happening. You look at the last hits. Troll has 230, but he's died 3 times. His item progression is good, but it's not excellent. He's now got a BKB on top of Sanjin Yasha Blink. He is becoming a force to be reckoned with. He's been ignored for a large portion of this game. Hero level, you know, you've got level 11 on the Witch Doctor and level 11 on the Lion. The Troll Warlord, level 18, doesn't give him, you know, a nice bigger spell, a bigger ultimate that you've been wanting for the rest of the game. But again, I want to first point out that Troll has gone for this 4-1-4-3 build, going for 1 in Whirling Axes, even against the Batrider. I mean, laning phase wise.
I think, that could have had a lot to do with the fact that he lost the lane. The fight here is going to depend on Axe getting an initiation with the global silence.
Or Troll jumping in onto Rabbit, getting the first hit bash, and now Rabbit's BKB is completely worthless as Yang jumps in with the Killing Blade. June chased, Death Ward. Do they have the damage to finish him off? The Sunstrike's not going to be on the mark, but Yang comes down with a double kill. Double Killing Blade. Berserk's called back onto Moo. He can't escape. His Sunstop uses himself up in the air. Have they got anything left? Yang can't get the cooldown. Still on cooldown.
Yeah, so what I thought it would depend on Axe doing, it turns out the Troll can do that too. But the last time that fight happened, Newbee did a lot better because they had an Aegis. But not having an Aegis and thinking that they can just push into global silence, you are dead.
Nice little Laguna Blade just thrown out there.
I mean, did Newbee not realize that the previous time they pushed, the only reason the fight went well was because of the Aegis? And this time they didn't have an Aegis, so
I guess they felt strong with their BKBs. Lycan BKB in Necro 3, Batrider, BKB, Blink, Lasso, 4-staff backwards. But
yeah, but what is, I mean, your 2 supports do nothing at all with the global silence. So there's also a BKB on Axe, there's also a BKB on Troll. There's even nearly one on Invoker by the looks of it. And if your supports can't help at all, I feel like the BKB Axe and BKB Troll are doing a lot more there. You know, what's Storm doing to them? Is he gonna try and... The best he's gonna do is Yules himself and get globe off. then try and go for some supports or something. It's not like the Storm, even if he wasn't Global Silence, could do something to the Axe or the Troll in that fight. So you've got a Lycan all on his own, and sure, Bat can BKB and grip and like lasso someone, but that's it. That's all you have under the Global Silence initiation, and we saw how fast the Lycan died. Troll just obliterated him, and who's meant to help?
What level is Exort now? Well, he's leveled up pretty high, level 4. Level 18 Invoker right now. Banana gets nailed by the Sunstrike. That's quite a hefty amount of damage. Storm Spirit has saved up 4,000. Oh, he's just spent 2,000. Nearly Shiva's Guard.
Still not buying that BKB, which I find interesting, just in the sense that if he's going to only have Yules to take off global, firstly it takes a while to take it off. He has to be in the air for 2.5 seconds. And secondly, when he comes down, he can still get orchided, he can still get stunned, he can still get, you know,
cold,
last worded, or I mean, Call would go through BKB anyway, so I suppose that's maybe why he doesn't want to buy BKB. But I feel like this is one of those times you have to bite the bullet and buy BKB even though you're against Axe. Oh. Speaking of which, that's a kill.
Ow.
Ow.
So Moo loses a bunch of Bloodstone charges and 40 seconds on the sideline. Nice little pick off there. Unfortunately, Roshan with a pretty long respawn time here. Another minute until Big Boy's back up. BKB completed for Secret, and his next item, I don't know. Do you go Aghanims, pick up a Hex? Ag's Invoker isn't something that we see really at all anymore. With the Wex Invoker, it's all about utility. Keeping people down is the name of the game.
So, in that regard, you'd expect him to buy a Hex, right?
Yeah.
That seems like the most straightforward purchase.
Well, you never know. You never know. Could be anything. He could.
Sansheng has finally finished his Yules on Lina, so at least he could take off the global, or so he could set up a kill, but it seems like super late, to be honest, to be truly effective.
Yeah. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to say Secret buys an AC, actually. I feel like that's a more common item pick up after the progression he's got. It helps them push into towers, helps them break high ground. I
will agree with you that AC is a good call, and just say that I think Hex is slightly better, but I'd be happy with either. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, I think Hex is good against the Storm Bat, you know, Lycan as well. It gives you the great lockdown capability. It's just, at this point in the game, you've got to be setting your eyes now on tier 3s and racks as VG.P. You've defended your base, you've held back the horde of Newbee. They've not been able to cross your great wall.
Yeah, and AC will also be better against the fact that Storm went for Shivas. Counteract the extra armor a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I still just back the Hex because of the way in which VG.P keep getting advantage with these kind of good initiations or pickoffs, and it's just going to add to that same kind of element.
Permanent Sunstrike into the Roche pit. He's going to be wondering what the hell's going on. Why are you doing this to me? He's so scaly.
Does look like Roshan will be the next objective both teams are looking towards.
Well, Triple S now with a crit as well. So not going for the more standard, you know, Skadi, Butterfly, MKB. He wants more damage. He wants to pump out the DPS. Daedalus with that Helm of the Dominator. Satanic probably his final item. You can always sell Blink Dagger, but the late game blinks on heroes like Jug and Troll, they're so valuable. You don't really want to swap them out.
Smoke from Vici Gang potential. And they don't have Lycan or Bat here. This could be really bad for Newbee. Especially if Mu gets caught. If they find the Storm Spirit, somehow manage to kill him before he can use himself. I think they were hoping to find someone farming their jungle. But Newbee playing very conservatively at the moment.
Well, they are pushing down bot lane with a Bat Rider with Rabbit standing just behind. Newbee doing a good job right now, splitting up the forces of VG.P, just trying to spread them thin across the map. This does open up Roshan a little bit for the Dire, which is why the Bat Rider sends a couple of sticky napalms in there, but a couple of seconds too early. Do they have vision?
Yeah. And Roche is gonna die too fast. It really doesn't matter if they know about it or not. Again, maybe Bat tries to steal. He doesn't have space, he can't steal.
You can drop his TP or something, but
Oh, he can Firefly them.
Oh, he's dropped his TP. He's going for it. He's going for it. Doesn't get it. And nearly dies for it. Top lane, Moo, pushing into Rax. The TPs have to come back thick and fast. If there is a glyph, Sunstrike's going to land onto the Storm Spirit's head. But who's stopping him right now? The Witch Doctor? He doesn't care about a Witch Doctor.
Apparently he should, but he gets cast like 4 times. Witch Doctor's such a rude hero, just like throwing casks at people. What are his casks? Like what are they?
Skulls.
Are they like cask of paralyzing powder? Okay, so just chucking pieces of powder on you over and over. The animation doesn't really show that, eh? It looks like it's like more like a big rock or something that hits you and stuns you. It doesn't look like it when it hits you. It like puts some powder on you that paralyzes you.
People just call them the coconuts because they bounce between people's heads, knocking them out and stunning them. I didn't realize there was some kind of noxious powder that gets released from the casks as they bounce around.
Yeah, they should improve the animation so that's visible.
Well, VG.P now, they've defended their base successfully. There's no real push in from Newbee. Lycan, where is he hiding? Where is he heading? Down towards mid lane, Necro Book 3. Halberd, his actual 3rd pickup, or 4th pickup there after the BKB. Halberd against what, the Troll?
Yeah, against Troll.
The Troll has BKB though. You just wait for the BKB to end?
It's for after, and it's also for the passive evasion, which is going to help you not die immediately when Troll jumps on you at the start of the fight. I mean, you can't exactly buy Butterfly on Lycan, can you?
You can.
Okay, you can buy Butterfly, but I don't think we're at that stage, you know. When you get to those games where everyone's like 12 slotted, then you might see it, but...
Also, what's the cost difference between Butterfly and Halberd? About 2,150 cost difference, so... Yeah, you get quite a lot more extra value out of the Halberd with a strength gain, as well as that active disarm.
What just happened here? Why did Rabbit use ulti? Are they just trying to get a fast trade?
Yeah, looks like they just want this tier 2 as quickly as they possibly can. Up at top lane, both teams using Glyph. Not sure if this opens up the base at all for the Dire, if they want to go up to high ground to take tier 3. TPs are coming back, James and Witch Doctor, everyone is coming back to base.
Okay. So that was really the plan Newbee had. If they push fast enough, they can force VG Gang Potential to come back. Because VG Gang Potential's push was aimed at forcing Newbee to come back. And so it's pretty clever of Newbee actually to do that. If they don't go for that really fast trade, VG Gang Potential can force them to take a fight into that Aegis, and it's not what Newbee wants to do right now.
Definitely not. Move. The Troll Warlord running into the jungle saying, yeah, these creep camps are mine. Oh, really? Really? Triple S. That's the statement of intent that you don't want to see when you're that Storm Spirit. The Troll just jumping on you, popping ulti and saying, yeah, what up? I'm going to first hit bash you. What are you going to do about it?
We're just about to see a milestone in the game where Troll is forced to level up Whirling Axes. Yep, no more points and stats available.
Oh dear. This is something we see from Chinese teams. And must have been Slash I was having this conversation with. Like, we couldn't quite 100% work it out. We figured that okay, the magic damage doesn't scale that well, and the blind stays the same. So level 1 is just for the blind. You don't need the magic nuke. But in Europe, it's used as an aggressive pushing ability. You can push out the lane. You can do a bit of magic damage to your opponent.
On the ranged form as well, the slow stays the same, I guess. You don't need to level that up.
Yeah. It's just not a very good scaling ability. Triple S gets jumped by Move, forcing out the global silence. Yang wastes the Berserker's Call as the Yules goes up. Okay. Throw down the Meteor. Secret. Fair enough. But I guess it's one of those things kind of like on Gyrocopter when you used to skip over, go for 2 levels in Rocket Barrage, or you go for 2 levels in Shuriken for the Bounty Hunter at some stages.
Yeah, I haven't seen it enough yet, you're right, it must have been Slash you're talking to about it, but I can totally see the arguments in either direction. I do think that in this particular game, where the Troll got destroyed in lane by a bat, part of that might have to do with not leveling up the Whirling Axes, because It should be a lot harder for Batrider to dive you. Batrider killed him in that lane, but
Yeah.
shouldn't be able to necessarily do that if you've leveled the whirling axes.
Well, it's definitely working out mid to late game.
Wow, this... Okay, so Invoker hasn't made an item... Oh no, they're both getting Hex. Invoker's buying Hex and Silencer bought Hex. I think the Invoker's buying Hex. He's got a Void Stone on the courier.
Now, remember what we were talking about last game about James? For those of you viewers watching, this is what we're saying. James was a support silencer. He now has Hex, Force Staff, Ghost Scepter, and he's holding the cheese casually. He's basically a fourth core for VG.P right now. This is how they love to run. They have, an aggressive core in the Axe, an Invoker who gives them a lot of magic damage and teamfight capabilities. Troll is their traditional one-role hero. And then they have James playing something like an Earthshaker silencer who gets a ton of farm. June, oh my god, he just gets right-clicked and demolished by that troll.
He doesn't have buyback. So if VG.P want to try and force the buyback, they'll be happily surprised to see that there isn't actually one. And the Batrider is pretty important to the team fight for Newbee actually. So this could even turn into Raxes. Global Silencer's up, there's a Hex up on Silencer, you've got the Axe initiation, the Troll initiation.
Where is the prep from Newbee? Well, apparently the prep is Moo jumping in as the Storm Spirit, dodging Tornado pretty damn well, dodging Deafening Blast, okay. Moo is showing off the skills, but what did he accomplish there? He wasted a bunch of mana, now Triple S jumps in global and he's dead!
Storm Spirit has buyback, so maybe when Bat respawns the Storm will buy out and they'll try fight.
But now Banana's caught. Invoker throws down the meteor, Triple S jumps in, Laguna Blade down. The Invoker buys back as James pops the cheese. Yang misses the threshold for the culling blade. The Death Ward will still do the damage and finish him off though. Down at the bottom end, Troll gets killed by the Storm Spirit. As we're seeing multiple buybacks here from VG.P. Everyone is buying back, TPing in. Sunstrike not going to land on the Rabbit. Yang still fighting, battling it up. June has re-entered the fight. Managed to respawn, but dies again. Newbee losing heroes left and right. Rabbit going to be the third, fourth, whatever. Buyback available. Forced to pop it. Moo. Rabbit. What is your plan?
There's no more buybacks for anyone now, and it's got to be Raxus now, right?
Literally. Buyback? And anyone buyback? No, no, no. And now Sansa and Wish don't have buyback on the Dire. Lion will in 50 gold, but I don't know. It's going to take a while until he gets that.
What number of buybacks were used in total? They did. I think each team used 3 or 4,
1,
7.
2,
okay,
3,
so 4,
4,
1 side.
5. 5. 3 from Dire, 2 from Radiant. 7 was an over-exaggeration. Moo, oh, Hexed up. Deafening Blast misses, gets forced out away, but still Silence up and taken out. SSS diving the base, looking for more. Supports are easy targets. Basically like shooting fish in a barrel. Rabbit battles up against Yang. Sansheng somehow manages to escape and dodges the Sunstrike from Secret in the fountain. As Yang now losing his life under the tier 3.
Yeah, I was sort of saying that's the game, but everyone's really low, and with the Axe dying, having used his buyback, that's not the game. Sorry, I apologize.
What is going on, James? Newbee are finding exit frags. James gets knocked down onto the low ground, but it doesn't matter one bit.
Is someone... Do Newbee maybe steal the rush because of this?
How long until it respawns? Oh god.
Pretty soon. Or possibly the troll could just get you and solo it himself.
Forge Spirits are going to scout it out most likely. They'll last long enough.
When the dust is settled, there's no important hero that's going to have buyback in the next fights. I think all of the cores have used their buybacks. Except for the Batrider. So he might have it. I suppose if he can't silence as a core, then he'll have it too.
Like, the question I have is, as VG.P, do you throw caution to the wind and go into a fight without buybacks? Because you're against Rabbit on this Lycan. Lycans can take bases super quickly.
I think if you have Aegis and Cheese, you don't care about buyback. Because you know they don't have buyback either. That's what I was thinking. If they head over to that rush pit, if they get the Aegis and the Cheese, that could be enough for them to be like, sure, we don't have buybacks, but they don't have buybacks. We're supposed to be winning fights in the first place. As much as VG.P had to use buybacks in that fight at the mid Raxes, Newbee would have lost the game if they didn't use buybacks. So sure, VG.P used their buybacks to still end up getting more kills. Well, I don't know if they got more kills overall, but to get extra kills after Newbee were making a comeback in the fight. But it's Newbee that desperately needs the buybacks. They lose a fight without buyback, they will lose the game. Whereas if you're on VG.P and you get an Aegis and a cheese, it's possible for you to start the fight badly, but because the person who got initiated on had an Aegis or a cheese, you'll still end up winning the game.
Yeah, Storm Spirit is finally going back for that BKB. He's realized the importance. Dodging deafening blasts and zipping around through tornadoes is all fun. But if you get caught by one, you know, Orchid lands on you, Cold Snap, whatever, you're pretty much guaranteed dead.
The other side of the coin I was just discussing is that if Newbee go and take the rush, they're in a similar position where they also know that there aren't really many buybacks on VG.P, and maybe they'll go try and close out the game. So if either team gets rush at this point, it's going to give them a very dramatic advantage, sitting in a position where basically none of the core heroes can buy back.
Come on, Storm, where are you? It's kind of weird that you can still go into interactive view with dead heroes. Oh, you spammer. Stop spamming. Such spammer. Yes, guys, I've kicked him. Not kicked him, timed him out. Don't worry. Don't worry, I've done it. We need mods. We need mods in JD Red. But we're eating pizza. I think all the mods are asleep.
Who's gonna get Roshan?
Who's gonna get the next kill? Because the next kill will most likely indicate who gets the next Roshan. That's why Newbee right now they're smoking up and looking for a pick. If they can get a kill on anyone, they know that they don't have buyback.
And Secret didn't manage to finish his Hex. Oh, this troll.
Laguna played, they're throwing everything down at him. The tornado's gonna whiff completely. Triple S, he's dead without a buyback. A few more hits here from the Lycan will most likely know. Satanic heals him back up. He is not dead. He's killing everyone. Oh my god. Triple S. Satanic for the win, apparently, as Rabbit's now going to be the one to fall. With no buyback, Lycan and Leader on the sidelines. This is all signals go. Run down mid lane, finish the freaking game.
It really felt like he could have been dead. Again, I want to attribute some of that to Newbee just with the lackluster initiation. It looked like some of the heroes sort of started leaving the troll, assuming he was about to die. And what a difference it made. If the troll dies and the Lycan lives, probably the game goes in the complete opposite direction, but VG.P is probably just going to try to finish out the game. They go for Megas? I guess they go for Megas.
Well, Yang finds Moo down on the bot lane. They don't really have any silences or further stuns. Triple S tried to go for the right clicks in there. But they'll take tier 3s, they'll take Megas, they'll take whatever they can get. Finishing the game right here, right now, is the slightly riskier play when you're against Batrider Storm. You know, you're closer to the fountain. It makes things a little more difficult. With taking these racks, you're just putting yourself into that ease of mind as Triple S goes forward on the Banana, pops the Ghost Scepter, so it doesn't take any further damage. But that's another set of racks gone. Top lane, going to be the next target. Secret misses out on the Deafening Blast because of the BKB now from Moo, but still, Berserker's Call catches him out. Has to zip himself away. Earthspike down onto the Troll Warlord. But VG.P continue fighting. And continue doing.
James was trying so hard to hex the storm as soon as BKB ended. He hexed the creep actually. He got it a bit too soon. The storm was still BKB'd and he used his hex on a creep.
They can't catch Secret as up on top lane. Yang is hit by the Earth Spike. Sunshang, where are your spells? No LSA, no Laguna Blade, no nothing. VG.P backs themselves up. They've taken another objective. Slowly but surely. There's no need to rush.
Oh, but how close that was, because again, if that troll died before he satanicked and healed back up from like really little HP to full, I think that's the return of Rax's, if not the whole game, because he couldn't buy back. But the buybacks are now all getting close to ready, and there's going to be a Roshan probably soon. And then the game resets a little bit, because when there's a whole lot of buybacks involved, it becomes a lot more complicated, especially if you're the team that's pushing. The other team's buybacks are much more valuable, so they buy back right into the fight.
Well, Roshan scattered out there by the Sunstrike. Newbee heading on in. Oh, thanks, Swagger. Apparently the lion held onto the finger of death as well when they were trying to kill Troll in the jungle. So yeah, like you said, they thought he was dead.
Well, Newbee get the rush actually, which is a little surprising in this position. It looks like VG.P want to fight anyway.
Secret's on the front lines to get the Hex down to Moo. Great two-man call global now, so Jude can do nothing whatsoever to save his teammates. Moo with the Yules up into the air. Can zip it. Oh, no! The first hit bash from Triple S before the zip can even happen. And now what? Call? Great flame break there, allowing Moo maybe a split second to jump, but silenced up again. Last word, and there's no escape, no buyback, no route to victory it looks like here for Newbee as VG.P starts storming down this bottom lane.
They're just calling it. As X calls Lycan, and Lycan will probably go down too, but he's already called the game, so he's not too concerned about dying.
GG is called 2-0 to VG.P. The slight upset there, but I don't know, Newbee, they need to buck up. They're not looking good right now.
There's some value bettors out there who are going to be really happy with their 21% odds on VG.P, who just won 2-0.
Suddenly $200 value, but that's our second series done for the day. Next up is VG versus IG in the D2CL here, sponsored by Twitch. I've been Durka, joining me Scant. Stay tuned for the big game of the day, guys. Don't go anywhere.